hello everyone, I'm Adam Papagan. Welcome to the ASMR Talk Show, the show that sounds good, feels good to hear. Yeah, that's what we say about it. Feels good to hear. We're still doing our new extra mic'd setup. You know, it's amazing, after 750 of these shows, we finally start to make some progress. I think you're really gonna like the way this show sounds today. I just got back this week from a trip to a wonderful place. If you haven't been, forget about Vegas, Orlando, Europe for your next vacation. You should really check out Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, which is a regional tourist trap in the middle of the Smoky Mountains in Tennessee. No airport, you can only drive to it. And this is basically like Ripley's Believe It or Town. It's just miniature golf courses and wax museums. Dollywood is there. As tacky as can be, just in the most wonderful way. But I had to go there because on OJ business. In the middle of Tennessee, they have OJ's real Bronco, well, AC's technically, but the real actual Bronco. And they also had a exhibit about Nicole Simpson's life with some of her jewelry and clothes and stuff. And I'm a ghoul, I had to go see that. And the exhibit was closing, so on a whim, I bought the plane ticket. I was like, do I really need to go see? I already know everything about this. Do I really need to go see all this stuff and go to this, miserable, hot and whatever? But I was like, what? I'm just going to do it. So, fly to Tennessee, saw the Bronco, it was awesome. But then I find out there's also a National Enquirer Museum in this town. So just a mile down the road from where the Bronco is, I'm going to this Enquirer Museum, and I get to the part, like all museums, they have dioramas of famous things that have happened in history. So they had not only a recreation of the Bundy crime scene from the OJ trial, but also a recreation of John Benet Ramsey's bedroom and Scott Peterson's boat. So it was one of the tackiest things I've ever. I didn't really, I'm not easily offended, and I even thought that was taking a little too far. So it was really great, and I was kind of reflecting on the irony that I spent all this money, just for this quick trip to leave LA, where I have a fake white Bronco and the real crime scene, and then go to Tennessee where they have the real Bronco and then the fake crime scene. So it's just the other half of this story is just in the middle of Tennessee. It's kind of weird, and I wasn't totally sure if the trip was worth it, but there's a little section on the OJ tour where I talk about what's happened to the real Bronco, and just I was giving the next tour I gave, I made that connection about the thing in Tennessee, and it got a laugh, and so now that's going to be part of the tour. So it actually, was a productive trip. I got, the tour got a little bit better, little joke, and I guess the lesson I learned is that traveling, does broaden your horizons. You should always do it if you can, even if the horizons are only broadened, just a smidge, still helps. So check out Pigeon Forge on your next vacation. Folks, we have a great show tonight. A band, two sisters, Jessie and Jennifer Clavin of the band Bleached. They're also in Mika Miko. They've done a bunch of stuff. LA locals. Good to see you guys. Thanks for coming.
Hi. Thanks for having us.
Great ASMR voices.
Thanks. I'm really good at whispering.
Yeah, let me just say off the top, it's good stuff.
My dad told me that once, that I'm really good at whispering.
In what context?
Well, we did like a music video once with our friends in the band No Age, and I have to whisper in the video. And then my dad was like, "Oh, you're really good at whispering." And he's like, "You should go be an actor for whispering." And now here I am.
Yeah, very prophetic.
I'm not sure if I'm good at whispering. This is my first time doing this.
I think it sounds good when your voice kind of peaks a little bit. I think that sounds good.
The in between.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think you guys are both great whisperers. So you guys, with the music, you've been at it a long time. Like, early 2000s, right?
Yeah, since we were teenagers. So I feel like we started playing music in in late high school, in the early 2000s. It's weird to think we're in 2019.
Have you crossed the point yet where you've been in bands longer than you've not been in bands?
Oh.
Are you over half in at this point?
Yes. I think so.
I think yes. That is so
I don't know if I've crossed that
but it's coming up.
It's coming up.
Yeah. And you guys are sisters. A lot of bands with brothers in them, brothers who hate each other. The Kinks, the Everly Brothers, Oasis.
Creedence Clearwater.
Yeah.
I just saw White Reaper last night. Those are two brothers.
And did they not get along?
No, but they're like best friends.
But not a lot of bands with sisters.
Yeah, except
Heart.
Haim.
Oh, Haim.
Haim.
But it's
Tegan and Sarah.
okay, but it seems like all the sister bands all get along.
Like each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
It seems really uncomfortable to be in a band and not get along with the people in the band.
I agree. I would just not be in the band.
Yeah.
That's almost every band though. That they hate each other. That's part of what makes it good.
It's true.
And then people get jealous, and then
Yeah.
the band or somebody starts dating somebody's girlfriend, or
Yeah.
whatever, and the band's over.
Yeah.
But because it's also your family,
Yeah.
you can't. So
Also,
with
also, because Bleached is only my sister and I feel like it's like I just started realizing that I'm whispering so much. It's funny. I've never talked this much whispering. Because Bleached is only my sister. Only my sister and we can like kick people out when they get annoying.
right, you're the
I don't have to put up with their BS.
Does that happen often? You have to kick somebody out?
Well, we've been through like
A lot of members.
drummers
Yeah, it kind of does happen often.
and bass players.
Why do you think the drummers turn over so much? What is it about? Because I found that sometimes the drummer is the most reliable guy in the band. He usually has a vehicle large enough to hold all the gear, which means he has to drive, which means he doesn't drink as much. But you've had bad luck with drummers.
Well, I think also sometimes too, people realize that maybe they want to go off and do something of their own, like their own project, though, and maybe it's like we get to have them for that time they're in the band for, and then it's just kind of like they kind of go their own way.
So there's not always an official sacking, right? Sometimes the next tour comes up and you just don't.
No, there
Well,
usually
listen.
is like an official conversation. Yeah. But our drummer now, he's a Cancer. And so apparently Cancer is the best sign for drummers because they feel protected by their drum set. I was told this. So I'm convinced that that's why he's been my favorite drummer, because he's he knows his I don't want to say knows his place, but he's very passionate about the drums. And that's what all he really wants to be doing in the band. I feel like a lot of times drummers wish they were doing some other role. That's what I think.
So he's happy being
He's
behind the
hap-
scenes. Not behind
Yeah,
the scenes.
exactly. But
on
then
the
being
scene.
the bones,
Yeah.
he knows how important he is, because actually the drummer's one of the most important members. That's
Yeah.
why I don't understand how Metallica got so big, because Lars is not a very good drummer.
But he's he would be, if Metallica formed today, Lars would be the guy who answered the emails in the band. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's kind of business minded, I think,
Yeah.
and pushy, so he could go with. But I don't know. I think that band kind of stinks, personally. I don't know how any of them.
I
go.
like early Metallica. We both like early Metallica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Okay. Well, I'll give it a shot. So which one of you started doing music first, and then did one of you drag the other one into doing it, or was it always kind of a understanding that you'd be doing it together?
Jessie definitely started doing music first, because she got a bass for Christmas or something.
When I was in sixth grade, I got a bass.
And then our dad is a musician, and he made all his guitars, so we had a lot of guitars around the house. And then our mom is a singer.
So it wasn't really a huge leap for you guys to go into this line of work.
No, but it's funny because I feel like I was such to music that they would never listen to. So then that's when I started like just teaching myself how to play guitar, even though my dad actually had a noise band in college. So
Wouldn't they have to listen to the music just because they're your parents? You said they would never listen to this band, but like,
yeah,
no matter
well,
what kind of band you did,
they were like,
have to.
yeah, like they were forced to listen because we were like playing in the garage. But now they're like super fans of Bleached. Like my mom has been to every show since our new record, and she like stands in the middle and sings all the songs.
Does she come on tour with you?
Yes, she's been on tour with us.
She's been our driver before.
Do you guys, is there another sibling in the family who's not in the band?
We have 2 older half sisters that don't play music. They both are like scientists. Yeah.
Do they do science together? Do you have like the music set of sisters and then because they should team up.
They probably do.
They probably do, yeah.
But they don't live in the same state.
Got it, okay.
But they probably talk about science.
Do you think that they wished they had a little bit of what you guys had and they got to play shows and go on the road and meet all these famous people? And
One of our sisters actually does a lot of karaoke, so maybe. And she has like a band with like her science friends, and she's the singer of the band.
So she is kind of doing that.
so there's maybe a little jealousy in the family. I don't know. Thanksgiving might get a little awkward. I mean, think about, I don't know, maybe next time you meet a drummer.
No, she's like super supportive though.
Yeah, I'm sure. So you guys were, you did Miko Miko was your first band. Why didn't you just, because it was the 2 of you and some other people, why didn't you just keep the name, build off the momentum?
I know, I still think about that sometimes. Like, I'm like, I don't think we realized like how lucky we were that that band was so successful, because it was like the first band that any of us really were in, because we started it so young. And like we ended up going to like Europe and Japan with that band. And so I think we just thought like, oh, we could start a new band and the same thing will happen. And I think it was just like the power of the 4 of us. And then we always had like one member that was like fluctuating. But between me, my sister, and then Michelle and Jenna, I feel like there was like this magic that happened. And so now looking back, I'm like, oh, I realized that I didn't realize how lucky we were. And I thought it was just going to be that easy with any band I did.
Well, kind of what, I mean, Bleached is obviously doing well. Kind of, lightning did strike twice, kind of.
Yeah, it's true, yeah. But I just feel like there was something with Mika Miko. It probably was the time, too. Like, we were just all really young, and the smell was, like, becoming a thing.
The famous all-ages venue.
Yeah.
Do you guys still go there?
I do every now and then.
Yeah, I do. I feel like also we were like not thinking so hard about what we were doing.
Yeah, like it didn't matter if we failed, because we were just, like, teenagers.
And yeah, the smell was like our second home.
Yeah.
And then when did that group break up? Like
I think
10 years ago almost, right? A while ago.
Yeah, like I think we played our last show 2010, like January 1st, 2010.
Did you, when that band bit the dust, did you guys already know you would do another band after?
No, like, I remember, like, Mika Miko broke up, and then I broke up with my boyfriend of 6 years. And so, like,
Were you with him the whole time you were in the band?
Yeah.
Ooh, double whammy.
I know, and, like, people were telling, like, I remember people saying, like, maybe you're just, like, going through something, and, like, but then so soon after that, I ended up, like, moving to New York and playing music, and then being in a band that was, like, professionally successful. So I saw, like, the other side of the music industry, where, like, you have, like, a record label that, like, backs you, and Mika Miko is just, like, so DIY. So when I saw that, it made me think, like, oh, I really want to, like, be in a band that can, like, have the success that Mika Miko had, but then also the success that this band had, where you actually have people, like, backing you financially.
And have you, because you know, you always hear, the music industry, it's not like it was in the 70s or 80s or whatever.
Yeah.
But that system is still there for the couple bands not a couple, but you know what I mean? Like it's still, you can still get into the music industry.
I feel like it's just like a totally different world though than it was like in the 70s.
Yeah, like you don't get like in advance, do you?
I mean,
Like,
yeah,
does
you
that
get
still
in
happen?
advance,
Okay,
yeah.
but it's not like $100,000 or
Yeah, or like that Fleetwood Mac record Tusk, they were given like $1 million to
Right.
record that.
Th-
And then
that-
500,000 went to Coke.
Hey, it's a great record. I mean,
Yeah, I know.
maybe if they had spent more on the coke, it would have been even better.
Maybe.
You know, a double album. So Jennifer, we've known each other, kind of, seeing each other around for years and years and years, and we started talking about this dog statue before the show. And Jessie, you've never heard this story.
I've never heard the story, so
You've never heard any of this story?
any of the story, and I feel like I hear all of Jen's stories. I'm usually there for most of them.
All right. Well, it's really not a big deal. Like it's not a big deal. But I had this statue of a dog, a life-size statue of a dog
Yeah.
that looked. Do you remember the statue? Right?
Yeah, yeah.
It looked just like a real dog.
Yeah, I thought it was a real dog the first time I saw it.
And it kind of was. The head was kind of cocked a little bit,
Yeah.
so it was like a pose a dog would do.
Yeah.
It was very, but it was just made out of like porcelain, just real cheap stuff, and it was covered in felt too, so it kind of had a texture.
Oh yeah.
It was a great sculpture, but we had a outrageous party, and the dog statue got broken, and a picture surfaces of Jen sitting on top of the statue. So there's some evidence that she maybe broke the dog statue,
Right.
but there's other theories too of who
But
could have done
then,
it.
yeah, so then when I met,
Is that accurate? Would you?
yeah,
okay,
but I didn't know this story existed until when I met Barry, and Barry was like, "Oh yeah, you're the girl that broke the dog statue," and I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he was like, "Yeah, you came over to their party and you broke their dog statue," and I was like, "I did," and so like I went back on my phone on Instagram and I found the photo of me with the dog, and I was like, I don't think I broke it, but I also like was so drunk.
I love how, like,
I don't think I broke it though.
What, you know her pretty well. What do you think? Do you think she broke the statue?
Honestly, I would like to imagine Jen breaking in and kind of laughing and being like, "Oh my God, what do we do?" and trying to fix it. But I kind of feel like maybe she didn't. I feel like Jen would be like, "I broke it," but maybe she didn't.
Also in the picture, I remember I was giving the dog cake,
Yes.
the birthday cake.
Yeah, right.
Also, I didn't realize in the beginning of the story the statue was yours.
Yeah.
I thought we were gonna talk about someone with the statue. So
My.
it's that's the best
You
part.
lived at that house.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I never went to that house.
It was a cool house. It had a great dog statue at one point.
So what did you guys do with the dog statue the next day?
So it was really only the leg of the dog was the first thing. See, okay, so here's the part that you didn't know, Jen. So this is one of these like punk houses where like
Yeah.
8 people live there. Yeah,
Yeah,
people
yeah,
always
yeah,
coming and going.
totally.
So somebody was moving in, and her nerd brother may have broken the statue.
I bet that's what happened. I bet that's what
A
happened.
little bit, yeah, of course, yeah. You always point the finger at the nerd brother, but
The nerd
so
totally broke.
it was already a little bit broken, and then maybe her sitting on it broke it, noticeable, but it's just the leg. So we moved it outside, and then at a subsequent party, maybe these parties were too wild. I had a dolly, and it was in the backyard, and there was a dolly, and somebody leaned on the dolly, and it fell over, and the dog statue smashed into 1,000 pieces. Yeah.
Wait, it's funny because I have a photo at one of these parties where I'm being carried on the dolly by a friend. I wonder if that was your dolly.
Gray dolly? Could have been.
It was a great dolly.
It was broken actually right after, so maybe.
Wait, I would really like to talk about
Yeah.
Pigeon
Pigeon Forge. Forge.
Pigeon Forge.
Yeah,
Because-
you guys should go play a show there. You can't.
Well,
There's
I
no
don't-
venues.
Like, there's no venues.
Dinner shows. There's like the Hatfield and McCoy dinner show, the
I'd
Civil
be so
War.
down.
Yeah, it's really tight.
Wait, okay, so I've
Shoot.
always been really interested in the John Bonet story. We both
Yeah.
have. And
You think it was Burke?
what?
Think it was Burke?
The brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I think.
I feel like it was the mom.
The mom.
It was the Santa Claus. The Santa Claus they hired for the
What do
party.
you
I
think?
think it
The
was
Santa
the whole
Claus for the party.
family.
And they,
No, but who do you think actually like killed her?
I've heard a theory that the mom got angry because she wet her bed and she hit John Bonet and possibly, I don't know, there's so many theories. I'm not sure who did it.
It's crazy. Remember when the teacher came out and said he did it, and then he said it, and then he told everyone that he lied.
yeah, there's a lot. The thing I don't like about that, there's never any new information with the
Yeah.
John Bonet thing.
Yeah.
Just those same photos.
But so you went to like a place that like,
The Inquirer has a museum.
oh,
And so, covering the same things the National Enquirer does. They, and as soon as I turned the pin and it was the dresser with all the trophies on it, it was just so iconic. You just recognize it immediately.
that's so crazy.
But of all the crimes, like, these are the 5 or 6 crimes that are like the most sensational,
Yeah. You
that are like a part of American history.
like the John Bonet, the OJ case, Nicole Simpson.
Lacey Peterson,
What's that one?
2001, there was a pregnant lady and her husband killed her and then took her on a boat and dumped her in the San Francisco Bay.
Oh, I don't remember this one.
Do you remember?
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
But it's like, it's not like it involves a celebrity. I don't really get why that one was such a
Oh,
big.
okay.
I mean, it's horrible.
Yeah, yeah,
I guess that's be like every woman's fear, right?
yeah.
Your husband's gonna kill you and your unborn baby, and
Yeah, yeah. Okay, what's the other famous ones?
well, Princess Di,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
huge.
yeah.
Dodi,
Oh, yeah.
Dodi Fayed.
I remember
Fayed.
that one. What about Liz
Oh, and
Lorena
Michael-
Bobbitt?
That wasn't in there, but a lot of Michael Jackson stuff.
Oh,
The oxygen chamber. Remember when he did that?
oh.
And the when he held the baby on the balcony. They actually had a wax figure of Michael in blanket
Wow.
up high. Yeah, it was great. You guys,
I think I want to go to this town.
if
Yeah,
you
that sounds amazing.
if you play in Knoxville,
Yeah,
it's 48 minutes. Schedule a day off.
yeah. That's a
Go
good
to
idea.
Dollywood. I mean,
I know I've always
you guys-
wanted to go to Dollywood.
To go.
you guys need to do Bleached Wood.
I know.
What-
Yes.
What would be in the Bleached theme park?
Okay.
The smell.
The smell.
There'd
would
be
have
like
to
a
there.
fake of the smell.
Yeah, you're right. There'd be like the smell, but like the smell from like 2007,
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
when like all the bands around that time were playing. Like when Wives was still Wives before they were No Age.
Yeah.
And that band My Little Red Toe. There'd be wax figures of all those bands.
Are any of those bands still around?
Um,
No Age might be.
yeah, No
Kind
Age
of.
is. And then like, I guess like all those bands that Ty Segall had.
Oh, yeah, well, he's still around.
He's
yeah.
still around,
Okay.
but playing with all the same, like a lot of the same people. Okay, what else would be in Bleached Wood?
Dad's garage.
Yeah, the garage.
Like, yeah.
where we first
Right.
started our band.
Yeah. Like a hologram of you guys like talking about it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I feel like there'd also be some kind of like those miniature town things that you can look at of the valley.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
With like not instead of like a train going around, but it's like us driving like in our first car.
And a log ride would be cool too.
A log ride.
Log rides are so fun,
A
right?
log ride like down Mulholland Drive. And then you're like get hit on by like oncoming traffic on Hollywood Boulevard, but you don't actually get hit. It's like the cars swerve before you get hit.
Sounds fun.
It's so fun.
Do you guys have a new record out now that you're I guess this could be part of the press tour, right? You could consider
Yeah,
that?
this is our press tour
Yeah,
right
here it
now.
is, yeah.
Just Yeah, but we have a record called Don't You Think You've Had Enough, and we put it out like a month ago. What date did we put it out?
We put it out on. Oh my god, what day was it?
Well, it's available now.
Yeah, it's available now.
As we're
That's all that
gathering.
matters.
Yeah, right. And you guys are going to go on the road, and
We go on tour. We're playing LA again, like October. I can't remember. Sometime in October at the Lodge Room.
The 12th.
Yeah, October 11th or 12th at the Lodge Room. And yeah, we're about to go on tour. We're leaving for London in a week.
so Bleached is still very active, still out there.
Still out there.
Still, you think, do you have any, like, exit planned, like, in the band? Do you have anything you're trying to accomplish or anything? Or, I mean,
I don't know.
you guys are, it's your families. You're kind of stuck in this band,
We're kinda
like,
stuck
forever,
for life.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I have like a lot
Stuck
of
in
like
a good way.
cool. I have like a lot of cool ideas that I want to do. Eventually, I just have to like figure out who to team up with.
We kind of recently were talking about a musical plan and a musical direction, but I almost feel like I don't want to give it away.
Yeah, we can't give
Okay.
it away.
But
Figure it out and come back on the show when
Yeah,
you do.
and we'll premiere it here.
Yeah.
We'll premiere the plan.
Sounds great. Well, thanks, guys, for coming on the show.
Thank
Um,
you.
so
Yeah.
much. This
Yeah.
really worked my brain
Great.
to like really listen to what was being said, and I was really trying hard not to say what.
Well, you did great. Thank you all for tuning in. Until next time, this is Adam Papagan, reminding you that there's a place you can go, and it's your mind. Good night.